We are Del Sol, a team of creative artists, and we specialize in photography, in videography, and in creating and documenting experiences. But not any kind of experience. We really strive in doing things outside of the box. We are trailblazers in our industry, and we are always looking to do something new, something that nobody else has done before. This is Pink Romance. My name is Sol Tamargo. I call myself the romance ambassador, and I believe that the most delicate romance right now is the one between humans and Mother Nature.
Hi, my name is Matt Adcock, and I am the co-founder and one of the creative directors here at Del Sol Photography. And I'm not just a photographer. I'm an experimenter. I'm a dreamer. I'm a believer in the magic. And Mother Nature is one of the biggest and most amazing artists on this planet, and the one who inspires me the most to do everything I do.
My role in Del Sol is as a Chief Visionary Officer. I'm lots of fun. I'm always thinking about joyful things to do, places to visit, and it's my biggest privilege to create and then document experiences for people that will connect them with themselves, with each other, and with Mother Nature. The vision was to create a totally different vow renewal experience. It was going to be a secret, and it was going to be in the middle of a magical nature biosphere called Ria Lagartos.
We chose Audrey and Richy for the surprise vow renewal because of our past relationship. We go back, way back, nearly a decade ago when they hired us originally to do a photo shoot underwater. And ever since, they've come back over and over and over, and we've hung out and we've done other photo sessions with them. And we know that they're great, fun people with fun personalities, and they have a beautiful family with kids, 2 kids, and they deserve this surprise vow renewal. So for that reason, we decided to choose Audrey and Richy. Audrey and Richy see each other every day. They work together. They share the same Facebook account. They do have separate phone numbers, but they are constantly together and constantly working together, constantly with their children, with the family, in a family environment. And sometimes that doesn't leave enough time for a romance or a intimacy. You're giving everything to the family, you're giving everything to the business in their case. So when is the us time?
Matt and Sol, you guys have terrorized me on the inside to where I'm struggling. I can't sleep good at night trying to figure out what is going on here.
We have no clue really what's going on. Kind of shocked and excited and anxious.
They really had no idea what was going on. We were surprising them. And individually, we told each one of them some of the things that we were going to do, and the other one some of the other things that we were going to do, but neither had the full story nor could share with each other what we were going to do. And that's like torture for someone who's spent their life together and they always talk. They didn't really, they were stuck. So for us, it was kind of a challenge to go about doing something that was a complete surprise for them.
Of course, with Sol and Matt, you always expect the unexpected.
We actually invested hundreds of hours into this project with many, many months of pre-planning, site visits, scouting, getting to know locations, finding the perfect route, speaking to providers and vendors that would help us along the way, and planning all of this without any real client approval, because this was going to be 100% of a surprise for our clients.
And each stage of the surprise was very important, and photos would have to represent the meaning of that beautiful moment.
We started our adventure off in downtown Playa del Carmen, Mexico at the El Taj Hotel, where many people come to convert themselves from being a tourist to that of being a traveler.
We kidnapped Audrey and Richy for a weekend of adventure and surprises. They really don't know what's going to happen.
We're crazy excited. We don't know what's going on. This is pretty nerve-wracking, all of the above. It's crazy.
Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Vámonos. Cenotes are considered by the Mayan like a portal to the underworld. It's a magical connection between the spiritual world, earth, and the sky. The most magical aspect about Cenote Hubicu For me, is the water that falls from the sky. Like in slow motion, you see these tiny drops, and then they land on your chest, like knocking. Hey, open your heart. As you are looking up and seeing the birds flying in circles. It's magical. To continue with the traveler's experience, we headed to the little town of San Felipe, Yucatan. I love it because it's full of real people that talk to you on the street with funny t-shirts, very hospitable. It was a perfect place to make Audrey and Richy feel welcome to Yucatan. This particular point, we love it because it's just nature all around. The only suggestion that I'm going to make is that you plug your senses. This is supposed to be a peaceful walk in nature, but look what happened. No nos pusimos repelente.
So we were walking down the path and there was this party suddenly in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know, it's just one of those things that happens in Mexico.
There's somebody else in our spot for the romance, so we're going to give the space to them to make babies in Yucatan.
Right.
Let's go see some birds and fish.
Ideally, we were trying to have a private, silent place for ourselves. That didn't happen, so if you can't, change it, just join the fun.
In a land not so very far away in Yucatan, Mexico, there's this little town named Ria Lagartos. Ria Lagartos is a biosphere, it's a nature sanctuary. It's home of beautiful trees, beautiful mangrove, beautiful rivers, and lots of different birds that come each year to make this place home. Ria Lagartos was the perfect place to create this romantic story. Why? Well, because Ria Lagartos is home of one of the most beautiful romantic stories in nature. Pink flamingos. Once they choose their mate, it's for a lifetime. Este es el mero día. Romance en rosa. Es como mucha emoción porque se hace realidad una visión, una ilusión, un sueño, y al mismo tiempo es un poquito de les va a gustar. Estamos en un lugar bellísimo. Ayer tuvimos una puesta de sol divina. Justo a tiempo salimos al mar y el sol estaba así, la bola redonda. De esas cosas que no mucha gente puede tener en la vida. Y después, para cerrar con broche de oro, las estrellas en el cielo eran, un tapiz así, explosión, explosión. Madre naturaleza en todo su esplendor. Así que este romance en rosa, esperemos que fleche a Audrey y a Richy y que regresen a su casa con el corazón así.
Estamos en la volcana, we're in the volcana, and we're getting on boats, and we're going to go on this adventure. We were enjoying the mangroves and the boat ride, and we were immediately caught by this nesting tiger heron. This is one of my favorite birds on the planet. It's a tiger heron. Oh, it's just amazing to see the babies together like this. I like these birds so much because of their plumage. The feathers look like a tiger stripe. They call them the tiger heron, and they literally look like a tiger. As much as I wanted to hang out and be with those birds at the nest, the next stop was the Mayan Spa. The Mayan Spa is a place where the locals bring many tourists to experience a local mineral-rich mud, which they use as an exfoliating cream on the whole body. And this was important for us because it was going to serve as a renovation of their cells on their bodies. So not only were they renovating their love, they were going to have a new themselves, a new skin layer. I'm going to need you to take off your clothes, man. I know.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm gonna explain this to you. Yeah, man, I want to see it. We're gonna see it. With the exfoliating and the mud, We also dive into an element of our childhood, because when was the last time that we actually played in the mud? And you are uninhibited when you're playing in the mud. You don't care about your clothes being dirty. You're just having fun. And part of the experience is making sure that this fun connection is had, that this engagement, this connection is like in the front of your memory, and like the part that sticks with you. We needed them to do this cleanse, and we had the perfect spot. This place, for a long time, was the only source of fresh water for the locals, like potable water. Like, this is a biosphere. There's no tubes from the city coming in here. You can imagine the whole entire Yucatan Peninsula is nothing but like a Swiss cheese grate, like a piece of Swiss cheese. And it's an aquifer system pushing from the rainfall from the aquifers in the south of the state all the way here to the coast, and this is one of the points where the aquifer is purging into this saltwater body. It's a magical connection that creates specific, unique conditions underwater and in this entire habitat that don't exist anywhere else in the world.
Audrey didn't know she was about to have a vow renewal ceremony. She thought she was only coming for vacation. So we had to think about the dress. Come on, there's a bride, there's a wedding ceremony, it has to be a dress. The magnificent pink dress came from David Salomon. David Salomon is a friend of mine, an amazing fashion designer that immediately after hearing the ideas for the surprise vow renewal was on board. He wasn't going to be able to fit the dress to the bride. That was his biggest challenge. And the only thing that he asked was, please, guys, give me a size. So we asked Richy, sneak on through Audrey's closet and give us a number. What size is she? Easy, right?
Guess what? No, it's not easy. I'm looking in here. I'm looking in this wonderfully color-coordinated closet. All this good stuff. Guess what? Everything says small or medium. So I'm like, okay, she had on a dress the other day, so I'm gonna get this dress. Check it out. I find it. Small.
All fresh and clean. Here is the big moment of the surprise. And remember that Audrey had no idea that she was about to have a vow renewal ceremony, so she wasn't ready for anything.
She was surprised because she didn't know about it, but I was blown away. I knew about it, and I was still like, wow, this thing is the most beautiful dress. And then when she put it on, oh man, words can't describe. She really, truly looked like a princess in that dress. It was a very, very special moment.
Are you laughing like I did? The Flamingo limo! If you come to Del Sol, at some point, you're gonna be laughing your ass off. Because we are full of creative ideas and sometimes a little cheesy, but hey, on one of the scouting trips to Ria Lagartos, we had the luck, or let me rephrase that, it wasn't luck. It was universe sending us the right people for everything that we needed. In this case was Diego Núñez. Diego Núñez is a tour operator in the area. He is lots of fun and he's really connected with nature, with the flamingos, and with service. And when he heard this idea, he was on board. He made the Flamingo limo as I imagined it. I was very particular on we need to have 2 flamingos on the boat, and he did it. He also officiated the ceremony, and he brought his daughter Andrea and his little grandson, who was a joy to have around.
We are here, first thanking the Mother Nature to give us the great honor and opportunity to have you here in the middle of this bioreserve to renew your boats.
This journey with you has been an amazing 9 years, the most unexpected times we could ever dream of. I am so blessed to be your wife and soulmate. I couldn't imagine living life without you. Thank you for loving me unconditionally.
You and I have the perfect relationship. We were friends at first, and now we're best friends. You complete me. I truly am thankful to have someone so wonderful in my life. You've taught me so much about life and love. You are the love of my life, and I am forever grateful.
In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by mangroves, birds, water, and just tons of wildlife, Richy and Audrey said their vows together and did a renewal of their love.
We have a very unique tradition in Mexico to make sure that the bride won't run away during the ceremony. We tied her with a lasso. The lasso was made by a local artist named Don Cheto. Don Cheto has been collecting shells for more than 20 years, and he has a skill to create art with these shells, and he was a perfect person to create the lasso. It represents eternal love. Obviously, I wanted to do photos after the ceremony of Audrey wearing that fabulous pink dress. And the challenge was that I decided to work with natural light during the whole event. And the natural light was on and off. It was sunny and it was cloudy and it was windy. So the water drops coming from the wet dress were coming to my camera, to the housing, leaving me all these water drops on the dome, making it hard to edit. But after all, the view was spectacular and I am very happy. It was part of the magical experience as a bride. When do you wear a pink dress? When do you lay down in the ocean and have a little couple of blowfish coming to check you out? That is unique and a gift from Mother Nature. To go with the whole concept of surprises and expect the unexpected, the Nirvana Blue offers us a home for this pink romance vow renewal adventure.
Nirvana Blue opened the doors for us, and they gave us the special and unique privilege of being the first guests ever to stay in the property. And for me, that was a very special connection because it's not like we just took them anywhere. We actually brought them to a unique, specific, wow, amazing place connected in this Mother Nature that we call paradise.
And it turned to be fabulous. Why? Because you are in the middle of nature, you are very comfortable. The food, Chef Nacho has a different degree to any kind of chefs that I have ever met. He's spiritual, he connects with earth and with ingredients and creates a masterpiece that will melt in your mouth and your whole body will explode of happiness and joy.
Me siento muy cómodo por la cocina yucateca, es súper rica culturalmente. Así que muchas gracias a la cocina mexicana porque me ha dado las herramientas para yo poder hacer mi carrera, ¿no?
Thank you, Nirvana Blue.
One of the major motivations behind the Pink Romance project was the region called Las Coloradas, very close to Ria Lagartos, that is actually a salt mine owned by this big corporation. And just one of the natural wonders that exist there is the color of the water in many of the lagoons surrounding the area. And it originally never was intended to be a site for tourism, but very recently it has exploded. It's a very delicate and very fragile ecosystem, and the business is actually trying to scramble to figure out how to direct tourism there.
We all had the vision, this pink dress and this gorgeous in-love couple need to have those pink lagoons as a background. And we had 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we will have to do the video, and Polly and I with cameras on land. How do you do things under pressure? We have the guy over our shoulder, we have to go. We did it.
You know, you see these pictures and you think they can't be real, you think they're photoshopped. We pull up and there's pink water. And your mind is almost blown. You're like, this can't be what it is. And it truly is. It was one of the most amazing sights we have ever seen. I have to tell myself that was real. That wasn't fake. It's not something done in pictures.
Oh my God, that final photo of Audrey jumping into Richy's arms with her flamingo wings open, that was it.
Recalibrate. Now you have to.
So out of all my years of drone flying, about 3 years of flying a drone, I've never had an opportunity to fly in very, very high wind, which is a big risk and a big no-no. If you read the manuals of how to fly a drone, it says don't fly in the wind.
Pone la gorra.
No es eso, es una conexión que estamos faltando. No es por el sol.
Ah, bueno.
Entonces estoy perdiendo mi toma. No puedo ver qué estoy haciendo. Arube.
Yes.
Por eso
Yeah. Run?
To be honest with you, no. I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Okay, improvise.
My theory is that my camera is not able to send the proper video downlink to my receiver because of the vibrations with the drone. It's fighting to maintain its positioning because I'm using GPS to maintain the aircraft. It's way too windy to fly without that.
I got something. I don't know what it looks like, but I got something.
Let Matt do his work. Let him do his job, because at the end, the results will be phenomenal.
Like the radio station, you can't quite find it, and then you kind of like, it would come there for a second, and I'm like, oh, that's the shot. And that was how I got my shot, is I got lucky, and I had problems, but with a problem, you always have a chance to make a creative solution, and in the end, I think I got a really cool shot.
Creo que el pensamiento número uno y más importante es, Sol, recuerda que esto es para los novios, recuerda que esto es para los novios, es para ellos, por favor, denle su espacio. A la hora de estar grabando un proyecto así, o sea, éramos un chorro necesarios porque estamos grabando video y fotografía y dron y cuidando el audio, entonces la logística técnicamente es muy compleja.
In the end, sometimes the cameras do get a little close, it loses the intimacy, but when we step back and look at the big picture, honestly, it was such an amazing adventure with them, and I think the results turned out pretty well. Check out what we created for Audrey and Richy.
So I'll shoot you straight.
Richy is someone who sees me from the inside. He always has.
I thought I knew what love was before, but it's kind of like after Audrey and I got together, it's like she's my best friend.
To love someone unconditionally, he's been there for me for that.
Here we are 9 years later into marriage, and I think I love her more every day. I really do. She's beautiful, but that's just the outside. The inside is a million times better than that.
Whenever I think of love, I think of that strong bond within.
In my eyes, you and I have the perfect relationship. We were friends at first, and then now we're best friends. You complete me. You truly are one of a kind.
I am so blessed to be your wife and your soulmate. I couldn't imagine life without you. Thank you for loving me unconditionally.
You've taught me so much about life and love. I just want to say you are the love of my life, and I thank you forever for that.